Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to the Arabic of the Quran series. Today we'll be doing lesson number 12, type. Let's move forward. So now we are at the fourth and the last property of an ism, which is type. Types are divided into two parts. Either it's common or proper. So every ism that you see, it will either be common or proper. This concept is there in English too. The concept of common nouns and proper nouns. This concept is there in English. So what are common? Common are words that are generic, that do not apply to any specific person. For example, if I say girl or a boy, it can apply to anyone, right? I'm not specifying it to anyone. So yeah, book, cat, any cat, teacher, any teacher. It's a generic thing. We're not specifying it. Proper means you're specifying it. When I tell a boy, it's generic. But when I tell the boy, then I'm specifying to one person, right? The boy means I'm talking about a specific boy. So like my cat, I'm talking about a specific cat. The teacher, I'm talking about a specific teacher. That book, I'm not talking about any book in the world. I'm talking about one specific book. So that's what common and proper means. Proper means specific things, and common is generic. So when we talk about type, we are only going to be focusing on proper isms, because we are going to assume that isms are normally common. So if an ism is not common, then it has to be one of these kinds. There are 7 kinds of proper words. The first one is proper names. This is in English too. Proper nouns are what? They are specific names of people and places. Fatima, Makkah, Qatar, New York, London, all these are specific names. Next we move on to words with al. Now we have already been introduced to al before. We talked about al in previous lectures, but now we know that al means the. When we tell the to something, we are specifying it. Like I told you in the previous slide, the teacher means I'm talking about a specific teacher. The girl, I'm talking about one specific girl. It's not everyone, right? The words with al cannot have tanweens. We learned this in the light and heavy thing, the light and heavy lecture, that the word with al cannot have tanweens. But this does not mean that the words with al are right. Why? Because it's only in the singular or broken plural where ending sounds matter, that they do not have tanweens. I.e., they do not have tanweens. But when you go in the dual or plural, you see that they actually do not lose their noon. We discussed about this, right? They don't lose their noon. That is why whenever we see al, the question whether it's light and heavy is irrelevant. You learned this previously. So now all you need to know is the words with al are proper. Why are they proper? Because al is specifying them. The specifies them. Okay, so now let's move forward. The third type of proper words are pronouns. Pronouns are proper. So for example, you haven't learned any Arabic pronouns yet, but just for information, you need to know that pronouns are proper. And proper, we mean we, I, they, us, all these, the Arabic versions of these will be proper. Okay. Next we come to pointers. Pointers are words like this, that point towards something. You have seen this, I'm sure, in many first grade books. When they teach about this, that, these, those, all these words, they actually make a finger and they point towards a finger so that you can understand near, far. Remember those? That's what these are. When you're pointing towards something, you use words like this, that, these, and those. So these pointers are proper. Next we come to Ism Mausul. Ism Mausul is a special group of words in which actually you're going to learn about this in the next slide. So I'll keep it there. Just know that Ism Mausul are also proper. So this is what Ism Mausul are. These 6 words are what Ism Mausul is. What will happen in Ism Mausul is the one who, the two who, those who. So basically they are telling who, and they are showing the people who do actions, like the alladheen. For example, if I tell illa alladhina amanu, those who believe, then we are telling the people who believe, right? Illa alladhina amanu, those who believe, the people who believe. That's what these words do. They show people who do something. Okay, so now these words are divided into masculine, feminine, singular, dual, and plural, right? And at this table I want you to memorize it. They're just 6 words, so they shouldn't be that hard. Just memorize them and you'll be able to spot them and immediately know that they're proper when they come in the Quran. So how do I want to memorize them? It's like this: allazi, alladhani, alladhina, allati, allatani, allati. In this order I want you to memorize every single one of these words. Okay, and the meanings will come by itself. Like for example, if you hear alladhi, you should know the one who. Allazani, the two who. Again, the ani over here should tell you there are two. Allazina, those who. Allati, the one who, which is female when something is feminine. Allatani, the two who. And allati, those who. Okay, so these words you need to memorize. This chart you need to keep in your mind so that you can spot them when they come in the Quran. One more thing, allazi and allati, allazani, allati, basically the plural and the singular are non-flexible, which means they don't show the status. Remember the non-flexible thing? Yeah, they don't show the status. So if it's rafa also, it will be allazi, nasab allazi, jar allazi. Now here also nafa allati, jar, nasab allati, and jar allati. Then in plural too, allazina, 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 they don't change. Allati, 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 they never change. But the dual ones are fully flexible. So the dual ones can be allazani, allazaini, allazaini, allatani, allataini, allataini. Okay, so singular, plural, non-flexible, but dual, fully flexible. Okay, that's it. So now we finished with ism mawsul. Now let's move on. The one being called. In Arabic we use ya to call someone. It means hey. For example, ya walad means hey boy. I mean, this you can understand. When we are calling someone, we're making it specific. That's why the one being called is proper. So in this example, walad will be considered a proper word. Ya is not proper. Remember, ya is not a proper because it's not an ism. It's a harf. The walad is an ism and walad is proper. The one being called is proper. Next, this is a long sentence and you will not understand this today. We are not here to understand this today. You just need to know that this exists for now, okay? When we move on to future lessons, more advanced lessons, we'll be talking about this. So what is it? If the ism after of is proper, then the ism before of is proper too. That's what it is. I'm not explaining it, just know that this exists. Okay, so the things that you don't know, this is one of them. Just know that it exists, but you don't know what it means. Okay, so that's it. We are done with proper words now. We are done with the kinds of proper words now. Now what we'll be doing is reviewing them once. Alright, so now we have finished with the type. Now we are just doing review. That's all type is about. Type is just about proper because we assume the words are common, right? So the 7 kinds of proper words are proper names. This can be names of places or people. Words with al, because al is the. So whenever you tell the, you're specifying it. Pronouns I, he, she, all these are specific things, so they are proper. Pointers are proper too. It's like this, that, you're specifying it. Ism mawsul. We just now did the chart. You just now were introduced to it. I hope you will learn it soon. I'm not asking you to learn it now only, but you will learn it soon. And what are ism mawsul? I'll repeat it once more. Allazi, allazani, allazina, allati, allatani, allati. That's it. Next, the one being called, and the Arabic version to call someone is ya. So ya walad, ya bint, ya Muhammad, ya Khalid, all these are the one being called. Okay, and the 7th one, which you will not understand today, is if the ism after of is proper, then the ism before of is proper too. Okay, so we'll not understand, just memorize the 7th one, and you just know the 7th one, but you don't know what it actually means, and you will not know until a few lessons later. So with that, we are done with our type. We know that there are 2 kinds of types, again proper and common. We are only going to study about proper, and you already studied the 7 types of proper. Okay, so that's it. We are done with type, and with that we are done with the last, then the fourth property of an ism. And now what we're going to do is we are going to practice about type. We just now learned about type. Now we're going to practice them, and we're going to apply the knowledge. So if you aren't thorough with all these words, all these meanings, what they mean and how to apply them, if you have some doubts, do not proceed forward from this. Go back to the video, rewind wherever you have doubts, go back to there again and learn it, especially if it's a mawsul. It's a mawsul is an important concept, so you need to go back to it, and you need to see the chart once more. You need to memorize the chart before actually moving forward, because now we're going to practice what we learned, and you can't practice what you learned if you haven't learned it yet. Okay, so now let's move forward and practice what we learned. Alright people, let's practice. The first one, as-salihina. You can very clearly see that there's an al here, and that means it's proper. because the words that have al are proper. This is an easy one. So the good people. Next, sa'ilin. Now, as usual, we're going to assume this word is common. If we assume this word is common, then the only thing we need to do is eliminate all the proper options. So first thing, is it a name? No. Does it have an al? No. Is it a pronoun? No. Is it a pointer? Pointer is that, these, those, this. No, it's not pointer. You can see the meaning here and know that it's not a pointer. Is it the one being called? No. And is it the seventh one which we have not discussed and which you will not be asked about? No, it's not the seventh one. So this one is common. Why? Because it's not any of the proper categories. Next, Khalid. Khalid, as you can see, is a name. So it's a proper word because it's a name. Proper names are proper. Next, Allati. Allati. The one who. We just now learned Allati as an ism mawsul. That not just that, it's a singular feminine ism mawsul. So it is proper. Next, nahnu. Nahnu, we. We know that we is a pronoun, therefore nahnu is proper. Thawabin. Okay. Is this a proper name? No. Reward is not a proper name. Is it al? Does it have al? No. Is it a pointer? No, it's not a pointer. Is it a pronoun? It's not a pronoun. Is it the one being called? It's not being called. Is it ism mawsul? No. Therefore, this is common. Next, ya Saba. Okay, you clearly see ya here, which means hey. And you know Saba is the one being called. So Saba over here will be proper. Remember, ya cannot be proper because ya is not even an ism. Only ism can have this property. Next, hazihi. Hazihi, this, it means this, and we know that it's a pointer. This, that, those are pointers. So therefore, hazihi is proper. Ya Mahir. Hey Mahir. Ya is there, so you obviously know that this is a proper one. Why is it proper? Because Mahir is the one being called here. Next, London. London. It's proper. It's a name. It's a specific name of a place. Dhalika. Dhalika. That. That is what we know as pointer. Therefore, it is proper. And Alladaini. Alladaini. The two who. See, I told you that Allazani, the dual versions are, yes, the dual versions are fully flexible. So Allazani, Alladaini. This is just the nasab or jar version. So it's Allazani or Allazaini. Okay? And therefore, regardless of the fact that it's Allazaini is nasab or jar, we can tell that it is proper because it is ism mawsul. I hope you got that. This is ism mawsul, therefore it's proper. So with that, we have concluded today's lesson. We learned a new topic today, which was type, and we talked specifically about the proper type, and then we discussed about them by applying them in these words here. So I hope you got all of these correct. If there's any doubts, I'll be happy to answer them. The comment section is open. Thank you and goodbye.